our next guest has written a book with the very same mission, bringing history to life for Hoosiers young and old. And joining us is Jim Madison, IU historian. And Jim, thanks for coming in.
Good to be here, Darryl.
But before we get to the book, I want to ask why and what drew you to focusing on Indiana history in particular?
Well, I wish I could say I have some grand, brilliant plan when I was a very young fellow starting out, but I didn't. The IU History Department needed someone to teach a class, and I was, for some reasons, tapped on the shoulder and told to do so, and I did. And it was hard at first because I didn't know very much. I tell alumni from those years that they get a free do-over if they want to come back. I've learned a lot in 30-plus years of teaching Indiana history, and much of it's reflected in this book.
Now, that book title, it's Hoosiers, A New History of Indiana, and that word new strikes me. And why new history?
Well, let me say first, there is the word Hoosiers, and I thought long and hard about an imaginative title for this book and came up with Hoosiers. The new is the really important question in many ways, Darryl, because I wrote a history of Indiana 30 years ago, and it's old, and it's outdated in all kinds of ways. When I sat down to write a new history, I realized how new our history was, how our 21st century perspective of our Indiana past is so different from what it was 30 years ago. And I've tried very hard to reflect where we are now, where we've been, how we got to where we are now, and allow people to think about those big questions.
Now, I've read some of the summaries of the book, and there are these focuses on these threads that connect our contemporary history into the deeper history of Indiana. I was wondering if you could speak to some of those threads that you've identified in your work.
Well, there are threads. In fact, sometimes I think they're almost steel cables in the strength with which the traditions continue in Indiana. One good example is pioneer democracy. It was a democracy that was limited to white men. We've changed. We've abandoned that notion of democracy. But we still have a notion of democracy that tends to favor government that is small, that government is not active, that government that is inexpensive. And so we have in Indiana, from the very beginning down to the present, a tradition of low taxation.
Could you speak a little bit about some of those the early years of Indiana history that point to that sense of what government should be?
Well, there's an irony here because while early pioneers wanted individual freedom, that's the opposite of big government, individual freedom. I can do whatever I want, they said, so long as it does not harm my neighbor. At the same time, those same pioneers, in a contradictory way, wanted government to remove Native Americans, wanted government to provide land at very low prices, wanted government especially to contribute to economic development. That's where we get the early canal system, for example. It was government that paid for that. So there's a contradiction here between this notion of small government and inexpensive government, and yet expecting government to do things.
Well, and reading some of your comments about your work, I've seen you referencing that this work helps set up an understanding of some of the special challenges that we face in Indiana today. And what specifically were you alluding to?
Well, I guess for me, and I'm maybe a little biased here, it's education. There are lots of challenges, but for me it's education. We still have not created the promise in our 1816 Constitution of a free public education for everyone at a high level of quality. So I think it's education, and we've always struggled with that. It has to do with our aversion to big government and taxes. It has to do also with our notion of individual freedom. We don't want other people interfering too much, even in our children's lives.
Well, and the interesting part for me as well is of the book and the publication date. We're leading into our Bicentennial, 2016. You're part of the commission.
I am.
And talk about the relationship with the book to the work that the commission is doing and what we can anticipate seeing here very soon.
The Indiana Bicentennial Commission is involved in all sorts of projects. We've been working for a while now to be ready before 2016 so that lots and lots of things are going to happen. What to me is most important, what I'd really like to happen, in addition to the fun and the celebration and the hoo-ha, I'd like to see Hoosiers think, get together and think and talk about the most serious issues facing us. And I'm hoping that my book might be part of that conversation for some people, because I think there are very serious issues on the table, and I know as a historian that those issues do have, as you say, threads way back to the 19th century and through the early 20th century.
Well, and I think it's important to note that when we think about commission work, oftentimes we focus around Indianapolis, but this commission work is truly a statewide focus.
It's very much a statewide focus. There are members from all parts of the state on the commission. The commission has endorsed projects in most of the counties. There will be things happening in all 92 counties. There's going to be a lot of grassroots activity.
Well, Jim, thank you for coming in and talking about
Thank
your
you,
book,
Danny.
Hoosiers, A New History of Indiana.